Kai Asakura's top 3 opponents.
Number 3, Henry Cejudo.
I looked into the background a little bit, and I really like at what Henry has been dishing out in his last couple of fights. Really been wanting to try and keep it up on the feet a little bit more, but he also has had some applications in his wrestling. I know a lot of people kind of get on him for that Merab fight and quote-unquote losing the battle of wrestling. I mean, you cannot deny Henry Cejudo's legacy as not only a wrestler, but also as a mixed martial artist. I mean, very, very established in his striking as well. I think he could give Kai some problems over here on the feet with his karate style, and also just in general with his ability to mix in the threat of the takedown, and we have seen a little bit of Kai's struggles with that in the past. So I think Henry Cejudo would be a very fun matchup for him, very fun for the fans as well. Big possibility for Kai to move up the ranks if he wins. So I think this is most likely the matchup the UFC is going to go with, but I decided to put him in at number 3 here.
Number 2, Song Yadong.
Alrighty, now we take it over to the second matchup. We got Song Yadong. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be saying, Michael, this guy isn't in the top 5. He isn't a quote-unquote top 10 ranked guy. And I believe he may be sitting in that top 10 right now after that loss to Peter Yan. But I mean, if you had watched that fight against Peter Yan, you see that Peter Yan and him are arguably 2 of the best boxers if we're talking purely boxing in the UFC. Peter Yan, another one of those guys that is just super ferocious whenever he is on the feet. But Song Yadong showing in his UFC career, obviously, that he is very, very game to stick it out on the feet, and he has shown that he can have a very, very fun style as well. I think that this would be a very fun fight. You can probably make this a main event in any fight night, or possibly even having it on the main card of a pay-per-view and introducing a Kai to the fans like that. The possibilities are really endless with this matchup, but I do think that Song Yadong and Kai Asakura would be a really, really fun matchup for all the UFC fans, especially the ones that just want to see guys stand in the cage and bang it out, man, because both these guys, they're going to come in and they're going to be coming in swinging.
And number 1, Petr Yan.
Now for my last matchup, it was really hard. I was really having a couple different guys I really wanted to throw in here. Some honorable mentions definitely was like Kyler Phillips and Peyton Talbot. You know, maybe a couple more fights in, that Peyton Talbot and Kai Asakura matchup would be super, super fun to watch. But I still think those matchups, they need a little bit of time to sit on. But for this one, I think this is the number 1. I think this is if the UFC makes this one, this has got to be it. Peter Yan, Kai Asakura, take that fight over there and make it in UFC Abu Dhabi, UFC Saudi Arabia. I really think that this could be a main event of, honestly, you could probably do this as a co-main event or as a feature fight of a pay-per-view. I think this is a super strong fight. I think both of these gentlemen have, I mean, Peter Yan is right at that level of title contention. He's already taken out a very, very game Song Yadong, and if he's able to beat a Kai Asakura, possibly has a chance at bringing himself into the rankings and saying, hey, I want that rematch with Sean O'Malley. I want what I arguably should have won over there way back when in Abu Dhabi. So I really do like this matchup for the UFC. I think Kai Asakura, Peter Yan. Who do you guys think is going to be the guy that the UFC lines up for Kai? Is it going to be Peter? Is it going to be Song Yadong? Is it going to be Kyler Phillips? Is it going to be any of the names that we were even talking about here today? Is it going to be Henry Cejudo? There's so many different names that Kai could definitely take on within that top 5 to top 10 range. But who will the UFC pick? Make sure that you guys are liking and subscribing. Catch y'all on the list.